Hey, and here back giving a few tips doing this live stream on YouTube. Mute myself on my preview player. There we go. Muted, and now you can hear me, and I can't hear myself, which is always a good thing. And today, it's all going to be about. I can't talk. It's all going to be about tips and tools for teaching in a remote learning environment during the new novel coronavirus. I wouldn't say experience, but during the coronavirus pandemic, I should say. And let's just move on from here. There we go. Let me unmute myself again. My dog was taking a few sips of water, and now I'm looking at this camera, and here it is, tips and tools. I'm just gonna go over. I just saw this on a website. I figured it'll be good to use this to go over and tips and tools for teaching in a remote learning environment during the novel coronavirus. They say new, and I'm getting this if you want to ever review or go back over. It's virtualvocations.com, and there's the title right there. So they first, I'm just gonna read a few intro here, and this is about bustling face-to-face classrooms. Many use teachers apprehensive as they enter a period of required remote learning. Required remote learning. We have to be in school, but they don't necessarily have to be in school in the actual physical building when you can set something up and go virtual like this. Early last, I shouldn't say that last week because this was March 19th, so this was when everything got going as far as the pandemic was concerned in the U.S. But as going back to that point, as of March 16th, 35 states have decided to close public schools when it started. As we're now in past September and October, school virtual learning has started. Colleges, elementary, K through 12, they've started. They combined with district closures. Again, when the pandemic started, at least 69,000 schools have been or continue to be affected. So this leads to virtual learning. There are 12 states currently permit schools to use e-learning at the time of this article. Wealthier districts have one-to-one. Devices across the United States may transition to extended remote learning with more ease. So here's the tips. The first tip of remote learning in school: cater to even lower attention spans. I think it's pretty obvious right now. I keep hearing it. We have about a second shorter attention span than a goldfish. Goldfish is 9, and our average attention span is around 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Think about that. Though many are eager to debunk a recent study claiming human attention span is less than that of goldfish, most adults who have spent time in the classroom will agree. Researchers in this case may not have been too far off. This lady Trisha Holyoke, blended learning administrator, wants to remind teachers shifting to temporary online learning that the idea that the longer you keep a student in class, the longer they learn, is even less accurate in an online scenario. Breaks are important. Recess, breaks. They need to be engaged at very high levels for shorter amounts of time. Holyoke stresses after 20 minutes, they need to get up and remove or take 5-minute breaks, like I just said. So, number 2 tip, get them moving with hands-on tasks. You're at home, you're in virtual, but you can still offer homework via email. You can let them download things through the virtual chat and all. Get them moving with hands-on tasks. That's still an option. Online learning doesn't mean your students' eyes need to be glued to the computer all day. There just needs to be scheduled time for discussion, for online discussion. So get them off the Zoom, get them doing assignments, and then bring them back in when it's time for some discussion. Don't be afraid to assign curriculum-related hands-on activities. These will drive home the lesson and show parents what their children's experience is like in school. Encourage students to interact with family members, get up and move around, draw, build, chart, cook, and more. With younger students, clear activities with parents beforehand so materials are readily available. And any necessary supervision takes place. Remote learning also lends to a sedentary lifestyle. We're sitting in chairs a lot of the time, right? Activities that get kids up and moving even a little bit can help kids remain healthy. So, number 3, host live classes during required remote learning. Again, discussion, schedule time for online live discussion where they get into the Zoom meeting or the virtual web meeting. Have time for that. You may design the most engaging activities or choose to use a well-known expert's video for a lesson. Nonetheless, part of developing a personal connection with students involves interacting with them in real time. Although it may be required by your school, the best way to continue building possible relationships with students during remote learning is through hosting live classes. It also provides a sense of normalcy. Keep up interactivity by promoting live discussion through your learning management system. For live classes, the mute button is your friend. Remember that. You want to do this as much as possible. All right. Now you can hear me again. Hold regular virtual office hours for more one-on-one. Set office hours when students or parents can reach you in real time. For parents or kids or students, while a couple office hours daily is ideal. Lost my place. Couple is ideal. These should occur 3 times a week at the very least, knowing they can reach you for urgent issues. Also, keep parents, since they're going to be the ones around the kid, around the student, around their child, they're going to be physically around them. It's important for them to know the lesson plan. So you want to keep office hours between parents, teachers, and make office hours allowed also for kids as well to be included one-on-one. Since some parents cannot make contact during regular business hours, consider setting office hours once a week, 7 a.m. or 5 p.m. While this may be a bit inconvenient, many working parents or children who are watching younger siblings much of the day will be grateful. Alternatively, use an online scheduler. you can book.me to accommodate these individuals. There's a tip right there. Number 5, and there's like 12 tips here. I might just start reading off a bunch of the tips. Anticipate technical remote learning issues. It's always like, hey, technology, things with technology, it happens. Things happen with technology. Test things out. Do a test beforehand. Make sure things work. Make sure your connection is good. Make sure you have internet. Make sure you have working internet. Do a speed test. Upload, download speed test. Yeah, I'm not going to read all these full descriptions. You can go back and read on your own time for the rest of these. Bring in digital guest speakers. That's pretty cool sometimes too. Or play a clip, like several live stream options. You can share clips within the Zoom app. You can bring in these digital guest speakers, whether live or in person, live or recorded, and you can just play the clip back for the kids. It was recorded in the past time. Define the home workspace. This is incredibly important, whether you're a student or you're an employee working. Define where you work. Define where your home is. Define your home place. When you're at your desk, you're at work. You're at work. Don't be bothered. Set yourself away from everyone else. Always important to define your workspace. Another tip: limit external links in remote learning materials. As you're going through the live discussion in the web app, the virtual web app, you are it's gonna require, if you require a lot of students to open up the links, or parents open up the links for students, it's gonna set weird windows up in your room, and they may lose the web interface window to where you're actually meeting them. So if you give out a link, just know that they'll still be there, and they may be able to hear you, but they won't be able to see you unless they know where the windows went, because sometimes the links, they change a lot of layouts of the computer, what's on the desktop. They change the layouts. Remember your special populations. And for this, I'll actually go over needs of special populations, such as students with learning differences. English language learners may need to be addressed somewhat differently. For students with learning differences, plan on doing some small group or one-on-one. So you can embrace their needs individually. So make sure you know all your students and what obstacles they have in this virtual environment. Virtual parent meetings. Again, office hours. Not going to go over too much in there. It's again talking about virtual parent meetings, especially for K through 5. Give value and feedback. Feedback. We're in a learning period right now. Feedback, value, help and serve the teacher. Teachers are just as adjusting to this as parents and students. Feedback and value, and to be incredibly patient, is going to be so important in this school, homeschool, virtual environment. Embrace your digital tools, and come back here. I'll come and talk about some of these as well. TED Ed, Noodle Tools, Khan Academy, Chrome Music Lab, Canva for your arts and sciences, Flipgrid, Moodle, Seesaw. I remember Seesaw. Or is that a what? No, that's a restaurant, actually. I digress. No Red Ink, Nearpod, Nuezla, PBS Learning Media, Student Digital Media Choice Guide, an ever-growing list of online teaching tools currently offering free services or trials. And there you have it. There's tips for operating in this digital learning environment, school, virtual school, and there's the tips that I have. Thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end and stop this stream. And if you leave a comment below if you have any questions, concerns, if you want to learn about something and I can help you with, let me know down in the comments. That's what I'm here for. And until then, I will see you in the next video.